Sweet. Have a chat. See if it's...
All right.
See what your wavelengths are looking like.
Fucking wavelength.
They're looking hot.
How are my frequencies?
Yeah, frequencies are hot. Righto. Mecca. Welcome.
Howdy.
So a bit of a introduction, I suppose. Is we grew up together, I suppose, in our young years. So like 14. No, younger than 14, you reckon?
About then, grade 8.
Yeah.
Be catching
the bus and whatnot.
Catching the 763
Yes.
to town from Gilston Bay.
Running them up. But yes, and then I suppose grew up, not really grew apart, just sort of drifted away from contact, I suppose, as much as I got older. Just life gets in the way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you had your own trucks, and then pull me up if I'm wrong, but then got rid of them to go and work on the bridge because that was like drug money that they were paying everyone there.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
And then when they didn't get any more work after that, I saw you put on something that had wound up, and I reached out and I was like, fuck, come and have a go with me. And then we worked together for a bit, and then you had, not that we'll talk about it today, but you had a motorbike accident and you broke your right wrist and left thumb. Is that right?
A series of unfortunate events. Yeah, I
right wrist and left thumb.
I got roped into racing an enduro event, and it didn't go too well.
No, so right wrist and left thumb, and then you were out of action for 6 weeks, and while that healed. And then you were back at work like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I did probably. I went back to sort of subbying, driving a couple of 10-yarders for a few different people. And and then, it would have been probably 2 weeks.
And then had a bloke crash into you and you were the only one that walked away. Which is hectic, which we won't go into today because you're working through it with people and whatnot, and I can totally get that because I get people asking me about, like, with this stuff, you know, I interviewed SJ and my mum, and a lot of people want me to interview Westy, and I'm just like, it's fucking confronting. Like, I mean, going through stuff that's uncomfortable is hard at the best times, but being here, like, all you can hear is my voice and vice versa, and in this small room, it's like...
Yeah, it's still pretty raw. And like you just said, I am still working through it. And I guess I don't want to sort of come across as though, you know, I'm healed or anything like that yet. I'm still very much not. Although I am working pretty closely with a really good psychologist, and one day I would like to share a bit more of those events because...
There was nothing out there. Like, I mean, when it happened, you were talking to me. Like, I remember when the first stack happened and then the second one. And, as you were trying to find support groups and all that sort of stuff, but...
It's nothing.
Nothing that,
No.
So hopefully one day something comes of that and you'll be in a position to, I don't know, do some good.
Yeah, a bit of... Even if it was just something or someone with a bit of shared experience that could have just... You know, I sort of just felt
relate to, I guess.
Yeah, relate to, yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, I've had a huge amount of support, but I just, you know, it's not really the same if that person doesn't quite understand how you feel
100%
at the time, yeah.
100%, dude. But anyway, you're good. You survived it all, and you're working.
That's it, man. It's all about, I guess, gratitude. I'm still here. I'm still living, and I've still got a chance to better myself and
100%
move forward.
Well, I said to you, like, I think I said to you the other day when we spoke, but like when it all happened, and you were like, I remember I set my alarm. I'd send you messages time to 9 a.m. every morning. Remember I sent you the 9 a.m. mantras.
Look, they really help too. Like, especially for those first few weeks. Like, I was stuck at home. I was in a neck collar for 8 weeks and I couldn't do anything. I was very much stuck in my own head for a while, and just having you there really, it helped me so much just to wake up, see the message, sort of, you know, put a bit of a positive step in my day, and yeah, it helped more than you know. But yeah.
But no, I think it's, from where you were to where you are now, like even before all of that, when we were working together for a few months, like you're very, well, not very, but like you're a lot tighter wound and whatnot and all that. So this is the most,
less aware.
Yeah, this is the most at peace I think I've known you, apart from when we were like 14 and used to smoke all the pot. We were pretty...
Yeah, back when you sort of didn't really have many... responsibilities and you could just sort of live in the moment, I guess.
But anyway, so it's long road, pretty rough road you've been through, and long road ahead, but this is the best that I've seen you, which is good, man.
Thanks. It's good, man. It's all about growth from here and bettering myself, and hopefully one day I can make an impact on someone else, even if it's one person, man, that's going through a bit of this, and they could reach out and I can support them like you've sort of done for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's like I get a lot of messages, even though I'm only like 2 episodes in. A lot of people, I mean, the first 2 episodes, like talking to my mum and then SJ, like my sister, like that's pretty confronting and it was pretty intense. But like I get a lot of messages from people just being like, just hearing someone else talking about stuff. I mean, it doesn't even have to be as in-depth and as intense or whatever. Just the fact, like as you said, when you went through that, there was no one else, like nothing, there's no one talking about it. It's not that a common a thing, more common than what it should be. But but that's the thing, just the fact that you have spoken about it, someone might know someone and go, fuck, like I heard this podcast, this bloke was talking about it. Like it's just the fact you're knowing that you're not alone,
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. It's having that, it's just even having someone as a soundboard half the time, but then having, just knowing that people are there. And
I spent a mate of mine, a good mate of mine, he was battling away a bit, and he was saying about how he'd sort of exhausted all other options and was going to talk to like psychiatrist, a counsellor type of thing, and he was like, like it was an absolute last resort for him, and I was like, bruv, like it shouldn't. Don't think like this should have been. I wish I'd have known. I would have encouraged you to try and go earlier. It shouldn't be a last resort for people. And one of the things that he told me, like he's been a couple of times, and I sort of was talking to him, I was like, oh, how did it all go? And he's like, dude, he's like, she doesn't do anything. And I was like, I laughed. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just sit there and like I say stuff, and he's like, and I'm figuring it all out as I'm saying it. Sometimes she might like help steer me back in the right direction, sort of thing. He's like, but she's just sitting there doing nothing, and that's literally it. Just someone else being in the room while you talk off them or talk at them.
Yeah,
and they help you, which is it's pretty cool.
It's and I think it all comes back to like these people. They can't fix you, man. You've got to find that awareness of what's been happening, and you need to want to change. You need to want to better yourself. But just getting all your shit out on the table, really, really starts that process, and being honest with yourself.
100%, man.
Like it's. I mean, I've had you, and I've had another really close mate that have been really good guides for me, and I just think like I've been able to I can talk to you without any type of judgment or anything, and I feel, and it's having someone that you feel comfortable with.
Oh, for sure. Because
men are typically, they're just so reserved and they don't want to talk about this shit, and I think
that's the other part as well, is I get, because I'm very vocal about the fact that I've detox, rehab, all that sort of stuff. That's like a very vulnerable thing for me to talk about, but I'm fine with it now, sort of thing. But I think that's a lot of it, how people say you need to talk, you need to, a problem shared is a problem halved, and talk about your problems, all this sort of stuff. That's all well and good, but having someone that you feel like you can talk to, by me showing, I think, that vulnerability lets other people go, well, fuck, maybe I can open up, sort of thing,
Yeah, exactly. And having someone that can share their experience with you, or I find that if someone starts talking about what they've been through, it can sort of lead to that thing inside you that goes, oh, well, I'm not alone here, and let's, I can start to open up here, and those feelings aren't,
like, as weird as it sounds, man, like I don't know if I'm getting hip here as I get older or what, but like like there's something that's I've experienced a fair bit, like where you think, you know, like you can see or you can feel that little bit of opening sometimes. Like you hear people are talking about things, you think, oh, I might share my experience, I might do this or say this sort of thing, and then you do it, and it's just so well received, and it's like one of those euphoric moments where everything just, the world just feels like it makes sense. It's like fucking, you know, they understood what I meant. Like,
yeah, and it's like it's a big weight that's been lifted. It's like, fuck, you know, I can talk about it, and it's just not feeling alone. I guess that's what it comes down to. Like, you know,
so fucking social media is a cunt.
And I think talking about it makes you more aware as well.
Well, it lets you, well, you know, you talk about it more, and that's what, you know, you talk about it and someone goes, well, fuck, I've been through this, I feel that way, you know, like, and then you realise that other people are going through stuff and whatnot, and that social media is shit for it, man. Like, everyone is just, you like, depending on what your algorithm's like, but it's just
a highlight
like,
reel.
100%. And that, oh, you know, and it's just drummed in your brain, these people are fucking killing it, they're living their best life, they don't have any issues behind closed doors, and, you know, like, it's just one after the other of this person's living the best life, this person's killing it. Like, it's... Yeah,
it brings up...
bullshit.
Yeah, it does. It's very fake, and I think... I know it sounds... I think it's getting better. I think people are starting to show their more real side, but it depends. Like you said, it's all about the algorithms and what you're watching, and, you know, if you're... It's like I went through a stage there where I was... Before the first accident, and... I was just so unaware of the way I felt. Yeah. And, you know, the ruminating on negative shit all the time. And my algorithm, mate, you should have seen it.
I remember you telling me about it.
It was fucked. It was fucked. You know, like, and I think that's what it comes down to as well. Like, you start, it doesn't help you at all with social media, because it drags you into that headspace further and further until...
But it's weird, like, I don't know. I feel like when you're there, you sort of want to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're aware, like, I shouldn't be here, but you're just like, you want to be in this dark place.
It's an addiction.
It's
an addiction.
Yeah. I was just with the drinking, man.
It's easier to ruminate on negative shit than it is to put in the effort to be positive all the time.
100%. We've talked about it before as well, and like, fixing those things, like if it's something that you're, you know, subconsciously manifesting or whatnot, or whether you're conscious of it or not, to try and fix those things and address those things is like massively confronting. Any sort of you know, issue or something that you might be going through, like drugs, alcohol, or you know, a way that you're living your life, something you're doing that's not healthy, essentially, to try and properly address that and to fix it takes a lot of like looking inward and addressing and going, okay, there's something that I'm not doing right. Like, I need to fix that.
A lot of courage too, like a lot of courage to start the process. And like, I think people look for really quick fixes these days, and they want the easiest way out.
Dude, the world world moves so fast.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy to confront your bullshit and to be honest with yourself and find that courage within to you know, to change, to promote change, and like, I don't know, you got to look at who you're hanging out with too, who you're communicating with.
Have you heard of the average of 5?
Yeah, dude.
So for those that don't know, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around. So if you've got people who are like say you might have like one, you know, you might have one mate who's hyper successful, like absolutely killing it life, you know, great family, he's aware, you know, looks after his body, all that sort of stuff, absolutely killing it as what most people regard as killing it in life. You got another mate who like might be doing not too bad, has got a few things to work on and whatnot, and then the other 3 of your mates might be like, you know, people that are like hyper negative, fucking, or always on the piss, on drugs, just like, you know, always drama sort of thing. Chances are, like, you're going to be the average of those 5 people. So the more good people that you surround yourself with, the better your life and stuff is going to be. Like, it's
100%.
Science.
100%.
And it's weird because I know that when I was like on the piss all the time before I went to rehab, I wanted to, like, I've got mates in sort of all walks of life, as I know you do. But even though I was like, I'd constantly be hanging around with ones that I wouldn't, like people that I wouldn't necessarily hang around with as much now, but I'd hang around, and then you'd see the mates that are doing really good and doing that stuff, and I'd want to be better and want to hang out with them. But then again, it's like we were just talking about, it's easy just to sit in the hole and just like it's weird. Some part of you wants to be there.
Yeah, 100%. I can relate definitely to that, and I think that's why as you get older, you really got to pick who you hang out with, man. And like, I mean, these days I'd rather be sitting at home on my own than being around these
100%.
certain people.
100%. And I think that's part of the reason why I love hunting as well. I froth on being by myself, which is weird. A lot of people don't, like, I remember when the whole lettuce thing first, you know, making these videos and they're going nuts, and a lot of the time in those videos, like, I'm out on the piss or with people and whatnot, and then, I mean, I'm not saying that that's how, like, I was acting for those videos, but they were like specific circumstances, and I think people that assume that that's my life all the time. So I might, like, be going to the servo to get milk or something like that, and someone would see me and they'd be like, "Lettuce, you mad cunt," and be like hyped up to the nines, and I'd, you know, be getting milk and going home and going to bed and just being like, what the fuck's that about? And I didn't click to that for ages. I was like, that, but again, that's what I'm putting off. Like, that's all these people see is a highlight reel, and didn't actually click. I was like, what's wrong with these cunts? Like, why don't they? But that was my fault, man. That's how everyone thought that
you were like their hype man.
Yeah, literally. and I think people just thought that I was like that. I mean, to the large, I was for a while. Like, my life was a lot more jazzed up than what it is now.
I think, and you probably put pressure on yourself back then to be that guy.
So funnily enough, man, so when I started, before I got off like all the piss and whatnot, and I started having these massive panic attacks and anxiety and whatnot, went to the doctors, did all this stuff, and obviously talking about it is that helps. You know, medication helps, but talking about it is how you get to the root of the problem to work through it and whatnot. Went to all these psychiatrists. None of them help, like, none of them hit the nail on the head, so to speak. And then the last one that I went and saw was this young bird. I can't remember her name, but she hadn't even like graduated yet, sort of thing. She was like, "Oh, you know, do you mind?" I was like, "No, whatever, like, it's fine." And she was one that figured it out. So all of these years, man, of me working Lettuce Farm, making these hyped up videos of like these high stress situations that weren't high stress, but me jazzing them up as if they were like high stress and stuff, like fucking things are going wrong with the tractors, we're not cutting lettuce fast enough, all this stuff. And I'm creating that because that makes good content. It's stuff that people want to watch. So I'm creating all this stuff. So I get out of those situations like years later, and I've trained my body to look for this stress because it was making money. It was like without even realizing it. So I'm walking around in my day-to-day life and just having these huge panic attacks and all that because I'm out there. My body's subconsciously looking for fucking these stressful situations. So I had something to film. And even though I wasn't filming stuff then, I wasn't really doing anything on social media. And I was like, what the... Like, it fucking blew me out. It was like the penny dropped. I was like, holy shit, that makes sense.
Yeah, crazy. So it went from being yourself in daily life, being the funny guy, to trying to find these... I
was very aware. So like the people that there's a few people that still make videos now that started doing it around the time that I did, and because I like stopped, for lots of different reasons, but some of them are huge now. Some of them are good. Some of them have gone on to like what I'd deem as like gone on to really successful sort of careers. But then you got other ones that are like it's created content, which is fine. Like what people want to do is completely up to them. I'm not gonna, judge them or whatever. It's how, it's what people do. That was something that I never wanted to do. But like some of the ones, the content that they create is just like it's harming themselves or other people, that sort of shit. And it's like, fuck it. I just think that could not, like, it couldn't be good.
They can't go on like that. And I feel like you've just grown out of that person anyway. I mean, getting off the piss was obviously an essential thing for you, but I think as
100%.
we get older, we mature in the head, and we we find other, I guess,
other identities or parts of identity.
And you don't resonate with that person anymore. And if you continue to go down that path and try and be that guy, like, you're lying to yourself, and you're not going to be happy. Like,
one of my kids, like, are my kid. I'm very, very lucky. My kids are very, very good for the most part, but they get hyped up and carry on sometimes, as all kids do, but then sometimes it goes too far, and that's one of the things I think of now. I'm just like, if I was still doing that
imagine
stuff,
you being that guy
literally,
still.
man.
Yeah.
Like, and it'd make them work. I'd be doing something and then telling them not to do it.
What kind of role model would you be?
Yeah. And that was another reason why, or a small part of the reason why I stopped, like when I was full-time making content, is because T-Man, my eldest boy, I can't remember how old he was. I might have been like around 13 or something.
The most influential years.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And he'd come home and he'd be like, how much money have you made off this video? How many people have seen that? How many stuff you like it? And I'd be like, dude, this isn't normal. Like, this isn't a normal thing. Don't, but then it's weird, because then that was making me, like, it was like, okay, I had this life outside of my home and then my life at home sort of thing, and trying to turn it on and off, which is, I'm shutting him out of part of my life, I don't think closing your kids out to any part of your life is a good idea at all.
No, not at all, man. It's a very unwholesome thing to be doing, and I feel like your trajectory now is where you've always led to be.
Yeah,
it's.
I sort of feel this. Yeah, I still don't know the fine tune, like how it's going to be finely tuned. But this is like this shit, man. This is like wholesome, good, something that I enjoy doing. I don't want to be sitting there going, fuck, I need to make a video about this, that, or the other today. I've always I enjoy talking to people. Conversation comes easily and stuff. Having conversations that other people can relate to and help to them and whatnot. Just talking to interesting people. Like, fucking how good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if this becomes something, like at the moment, I'm toying up with the idea. The plan with my real life business, so to speak, my hire business, was always to sort of build it up and sell it. I'm a few years away from the original timeline of that, but even now I'm like, fuck, maybe I should do that sooner rather than later, and then I can do more of this. So, don't know. If that happens sooner rather than later, that'd be good, but if not, try and juggle them both. But this is what I enjoy doing, and I want to help people more. Like, I get a lot of, I privately message a lot of people asking me for help, and they ask me for help, and I'm, have you tried this place? Can you do this and do that? Like, more than I think a lot of people realise. Not that I want any fucking props for it or anything, but
being a positive role model now is like,
yeah,
that's the way I see it. Is like, yeah, you were that guy. People have seen you grow and evolve.
I think that's the thing.
They see you dealing with your issues, and they resonate with that and go, oh.
I went through this weird. So just on Snapchat alone, when I first came out of rehab, I was on the straight and narrow, and I didn't do anything for months and months and months. And then I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm sober. I'm probably not going to be funny. I'm not going to be worth watching. Like, this isn't going to be much chop. And that was sort of it. And then I was just putting my day-to-day life up. And like I think it was like in 3 weeks. But around 3 weeks, I lost 17,000 followers just on Snapchat.
I remember you telling me that. That's
which is
it's pretty crazy, but
yeah.
I guess they're the ones you wanted to lose too, though. Like
the thing is, so like I'm in this weird stage. I had all these people that watched, like, that built this following sort of thing, and then I lost a shit ton. Like, probably say around 20,000 or 17,000 the first 3 weeks, but then like I lost all these followers, and then I've started to get like I've got a lot of new ones now, but the bulk of my following isn't like new people that have discovered me. It's old ones that have sort of seen me mature and grow, sort of thing. I've probably only 10, 20,000 new ones in the different sort of disciplines of social media. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like the ones that come out. In some ways I find it annoying because like I don't like recapping shit. It's like, like I'll put something up on a story or a post and people message me going, why is this, why is that? And I'm like, fucking yeah.
Got to tell the backstory. Yeah.
Which, yeah. But I mean, it's all part of, I suppose, growing a following and so people actually understand what you fucking
where you come from. Yeah, especially I guess the new ones that are sort of like here and now, and they see where you're at and never really where you came from.
Yeah, and like good. A lot of the stuff, like when I put up videos or photos or say stuff about, like, that are quite obvious to me and to a lot of people that follow me for a long time. me taking the piss, and then you get other people that are not like, obviously must be new ones that are just like think you're being serious about things and full like dress you down about it, like fucking. Yeah. But that's all part of it.
Start lecturing you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, I think it's I think you're going in a good direction with it all. Yeah, and if the podcast is a good idea. I feel like, as serious as it may be at times, like we could have a lighthearted conversation as well. And
100%.
I know.
I'm still very much so like finding my feet with it all. Like, I mean, we talked about it today on the car ride down. Like, it's all. I've got a pretty good grasp of how the things that I do and don't want in it, sort of thing, in the way that I want it to go. But it's all. I'm still finding my feet with it. I fucking still don't have an intro, man. That's what I was going to do. I was going to ask you. I was going to like prompt you without telling you to try and say something and see if. I've been thinking like if I get someone at the start to be like, oh, I need an intro, and then get them to say something weird and wonderful, and then be like, that's it. Just have it at the. Yeah.
Inside the salad bowl.
Yeah. Don't know. See what happens. The one thing I've got that I was going to talk to you about, man, is it randomly popped into my head. When we were working just around the road, when you were working for me, and I dropped you home. And remember there was that lady next door to you?
Yeah.
And I dropped you home, and
yeah, that's fucked.
We saw like the curtain. Oh, she yelled out or something, and you were like, and you saw the curtain move, and I was like, "What's the guy there?" Like, am I parking?
We talk about the story about her, the 90-odd-year-old that lived next door to me that you hardly ever seen, that sort of like lived in a front room, and
I've gone to drop you off, and I was parked sort of near her driveway, and the curtain moved and sort of heard a noise or something. We both looked over, and I was like, "Oh, have I like upset her or something?" You're like, "Nah, like I don't know. We never see her or anything." And then literally like, oh, that must have been on a Friday, I think. And then Monday you come to work, and you're like, "Fuck!"
She was tapping on the window as though she was telling you to fuck off.
Yeah,
like,
and she died.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2 days later there was an ambulance out the front, and the police were there and whatnot, and I went and spoke to my other neighbour and said, what's going on? And so Mary, the lady, she's passed away.
And I think about that now. I think like I don't think she was. I played in my head a lot, but like, what if that was her trying to get our attention, going like something's wrong? This is like fucking what, 6 months ago?
Probably not quite.
Yeah.
Probably
like some recent.
Yeah, it's very recent. Yeah,
I still think about it a lot. Going like, what if that was her? You know, like like help, like her asking us for help, sort of thing.
Yeah, I did think about that, but I don't know. I just I don't know. We'll never know. But very odd situation. Because like I said, she never really spoke to us. She was always, kept to herself. We don't see her like, once a fortnight she'd go out and check a mail, and that was about it. But
I mean, I think there's a substantial age gap, obviously, between her being 80 and fucking, like you're not the sort of people that are gelled generally, but like it's
no. But I respect my elders, and I definitely I talk to her, but some people just don't really want the time of day.
I don't think neighbours aren't what they used to be like anyway, man.
No, and they were sort of a bit of an odd family, but yeah, that was a bit of a situation. I kind of blew me out when I remember ringing you and telling you, and you're like, man, look, do you reckon she was like trying to get our attention? I don't know.
I think about it a lot.
It's not it's not really something that I try not to think about. Yeah.
So how was the bridge anyway? We talk about your set, because I mean you sent me a lot of Snapchats. I was probably against their fucking policy and stuff.
That was a mad experience.
Building the Bridgewater bridge.
Yeah. Yep. So I was employed as a skilled labourer to start with. And I happened to get put on a really good crew. I was doing the segment erection on the north side. segment erection.
Fuck, that's bad, man. I'm 37. I shouldn't be laughing at segment erection. What the fuck? Sorry, bruv. How's your work? Keep going.
Yeah, so building cantilevers. So we'd jump out onto the piers. It was sort of, it was a bit all over the show when we first started. There was probably, I don't know, 150 workers on the north side to start. They didn't start the south until.
Is that for the whole project or just like the little like group, the gang bit that you?
So that was like the superstructure crew, the guys that were building.
Yeah, but I mean like is that everyone that was working on the bridge?
No, so obviously they had the precast yard where they were building.
Yeah, because that's
building the segments and casting them and whatnot. And there was I never really got up there too much. But there was probably, I don't know how many, to be honest, probably 300-400 blokes up there.
Yeah, shit.
It's a big production line. And a lot of steel fixers, a lot of concreters, a lot of patchwork stuff, post making the segments. But yeah, down at the bridge when I started in February last year, there was probably 150 odd blokes, maybe a little bit less to start with. It increased as the bridge sort of went on, or as the crews got started really, and the bridge started taking off. The crews got bigger. But yeah, I started when I started, I was jumping around crews. We had
trying to find your place.
Yeah, we had. Sorry, we had a couple of pretty strange supervisors working for VSL. They're like the big bridge builders. So I was working for McConnell Dow, but underneath VSL really, and they were
the primary contractor.
They were the contract. It was a VSL McConnell Dow joint venture sort of thing, with the superstructure anyway, and so I was sort of working on a few different crews to start with, and then I got put in the segment erection crew, and we built from the north side. We built all the cantilevers, and then. Yeah, so we'd sort of put 4 segments up each side of the cantilever and build out, which was really cool. We used these.
Fucking cool to watch from driving along and stuff. It's fucking mental.
We used these big overhead gantries, those segments. Yeah, it was pretty crazy to think about it, really, like how well engineered it was in the end. Like,
I tell you what, something that, just to go off topic a bit, something that I feel like really became more prominent in Tassie. Like we both swim in similar circles as when we grew up together, but now like with work, I was both around like machinery and trucks and all that, and diggers and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people we both know were on the Bridgewater Bridge. Now I happen to know one person in particular who's got a large Kenworth. He was responsible for taking the segments to and from the bridge.
Jesse. Yeah.
And I swear, man, like at that time, I don't know whether it's just a Tassie thing, but I'd get so many Snapchats, or I'd see them on people's stories and videos. It was like if a truck driver saw another truck driver driving along, it was like they fucking pulled over and they'd take a video and then put like one of those noises or whatever with it.
Snapchat.
Dude, that was like everywhere, man.
That's a trucky thing, isn't it?
But I swear, like you didn't see that much. And then when the bridge go on, like every day you see Jesse, someone different filming him.
Yeah.
But like everyone was doing it, man.
Like a song with a bit of a voiceover on it.
Fucking hell. Ever been to India? Get this India. Fucking. But I swear that was one thing that like came out of the bridge, man, as I see that fucking everywhere.
There was some big gear floating around there.
I don't know if there was.
It was pretty crazy. Jesse ran a tight ship, man.
He's a good operator.
He's a very good operator. He was sort of in charge of the Gold Spring operation down there, and
he gave me
drivers.
When I forget when it was. I have to find the newspaper article, but I don't know, say like 6 or 7 years ago. At a guess, when the bushfires were on in Victoria, and then I was like, "Fuck, I got to do something." And I did heaps of shit, like was constantly getting people, places to stay short term and all of this. And then I had a bloke reach out to me from up north, and we was like, fuck it, let's start sending hay over there because I had no feed. And so Tas Heavy, which is where Jesse worked at the time, Jesse rang me up and he was like, fucking, I'll put it on to my boss, see if he'll give you a hand. So Monson's shipped it across the water for us for nothing. Tas Heavy basically got the trucks from Tassie to the boat, and then I had guys like Pete, one of my mates, and a couple of other randoms on the other side that would pick these semis up and take them to all these places. And I think there was 6 all up, and Jesse was the first one. He just rang up, was like, no bullshit. It was just, and even at the time, I think from memory, his boss was like, oh, he wanted to do something, but he might have, I think it was like, oh, but how's this going to fit it? You know, like, yeah, we'll cover the costs and everything, but it'd be nice if, you know, like, if we get, you know, like something lines up, whatever. And Jesse was like, he was trying to organise like loads to come back with and all that sort of shit so his boss
cover the costs.
Yeah, so his boss. So
yep.
And it was fucking sick, man. He come down like after hours, picked me up, and the young fella, like T-Man, he was pretty young at the time. It was 6 years ago. He'd been like 11, and picked us up. Went down there, we loaded it all up, and he was just fucking frothing, just like stoked as, threw a tarp over it, and then was like, "Yeah, I'm like just." He's
a truckie through and through.
Fucking lives for it, man. Yeah. Even when you ring him up and talk to him, like he just. Yeah.
So, no, he's a very good operator, and like I said, he run a pretty tight ship at the bridge. No one was ever. There's never ever any issues with anything when it comes to Jesse and the way he operates. Everything's smooth. Everything, you know, he adjusts to things really well.
100%.
Yeah, so it was him and a couple of other local boys. I mean, people carry on about, you know, Gold Springs doing that, getting that contract, and I think people that don't know thought that it was a full mainland operation and whatnot, but unfortunately, like, I know the tender went out, and
but honestly, I mean, if you're from the mainland and you've got a good operator like that down here,
Gold Springs have a really good relationship with VSL. They do all of the mainland bridge stuff, and yeah, like, I don't know how Jesse got onto it, but obviously Gold Spring, I mean, he's got connections. He obviously found out that Gold Springs got the contract, and he ended up sort of managing it, and you know, there was only one other driver from up on the mainland that came down. The rest of them were all from Hobart here. Brock Charlesworth, and Dunner.
So these guys are bringing in the big.
They're bringing in the segments.
How many was there?
Fuck, there was like 3,082 segments.
And they were big. And what did each one weighed like?
So they called the average segment, which they call a field segment, around 50 tonne.
Fuck. Yeah.
Around 50
and
tonne.
And there's 3,000 of them.
So there's 3,000. There was 3,082 all up. The bridge segments. So you had the pier segments were a lot heavier.
Yeah.
The pier segments, the ones that go directly over the pier, had a lot more concrete and steel in them.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're sort of holding, you know, everything together.
I mean, before it was all joined together, they'd have the weight of it anyway hanging down, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So, man, like, it's crazy because when they set those piers up, you'd have the piers, and then you would use these big crawler cranes.
Those things are fucking
the 400-ton crawler cranes, and they'd pick these segments that they were putting over the piers, 90 ton each, and there was 4 of them. So
yeah,
you know, one pier they'd have 2 segments on, two pier segments, and mate, it blew me out. They'd sit them on these jacks, hydraulic jacks.
Yeah.
And that's how they would. That's how they'd sit them on these hydraulic jacks, and then they'd use these big CT bar, they call it.
Yeah.
This rod, and they'd sort of pin them to the top of the piers, but they'd have to do all this trippy alignment first to make sure that, you know, when they started building out, they'd obviously align with the last.
Yeah.
The last. It was crazy the stuff you learnt, and I mean, and I was going to say earlier, like, there's 150 blokes there that know nothing about building bridges.
Yeah, we've only got like 3 bridges in Tassie,
and and it's sort of everyone sort of learnt at different paces, but by the end of it, like to start with, they were putting, before they built the gantry system that we used for most of the bridge, they were just lifting them with a 400 ton. They did the abutment on the north side and Pier 21 just with a crawler crane. But once we got going, man, we were.
That's the thing that blew me out, dude.
We were banging them up. We would. I think our record. We got the record on the north side. It was a bit weird because the gantry system isn't optimal. Like there's better systems to get them up quicker on other bridges, but with what we had to get 4 up, so we'd get 2 up either side of the cantilever, and then we'd have to launch the gantry forward before we could go again. Yeah, and that was a process on its own, man. That gantry's stressed down hydraulically, and we had to unstress it, crawl it forward. I think our record was like it's like 8 or something in a day, a bit like 8 segments, or I think it was something like that, maybe more.
That was the thing that blew me out, man. Is driving past and there'd be like and then coming back the next day and there's or a couple of days later and there's fucking heaps more.
I say at the start we were struggling to get 2 up a day.
Yeah.
Or 1.
I remember that.
One was a good achievement.
The media's was fucking rinsing you, or the politicians and all that sort of shit. Like how, but it's like fucking have a rest. Like it's this it's a bunch of it's like no one knows how to do this shit down here.
Yeah, it was a huge learning curve. I mean, there was a handful of guys, obviously the supervisors at VSL, and and they were teaching us. Yeah, they were teaching us how to do it. So there was no efficiency. They wanted to make sure we knew what we were doing before we could ramp up and move in some type of.
Got your rhythm sort of thing.
Yeah, that's 100%. Right. But no, it was like the bridge all up. It was a really good experience. I finished up in May, and sort of when we finished the erection side of it, getting all the last segments up, I don't know. I guess I was a bit over it. Yeah. As such, like I got shifted onto a finishing crew, and I didn't really enjoy that, and I kind of put my hand up. So I was hoping for an early redundancy, really. Yeah. Just get out of there because, I didn't really like the substructure stuff too much. I really loved doing the big superstructure. Yeah. I ended up with a couple of rigging tickets and my gantry ticket. So I was in the end, me and another few fellas were lifting the segments off the trucks and up into place, which sick. Yeah, it was something that I look back at now and go, fuck, that was a good experience. Like I'll never be able to do anything like that again, or like
every day, like
not in Tasmania.
Nah, I mean, you drive along with your young bloke. Like every time you drove over that bridge, like Dad fucking did this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really good thing to be able to say, I had a part in it.
And not only that, I mean, Tassie's got the reputation of being like slow, the slower state, slow Bart, and fucking not much gets done here and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, I think we're slowly getting better. I mean, that bridge fucking blew me out, like how well that went. But, the next time that some big art, like the stadium's a perfect example, man. Like that, we've been doing the test pits for that. Once that starts, I would imagine the guys that were the good operators that were on the bridge are going to be like the first ones. We're like for that skilled labour hire stuff are going to be like, well, you fucking nailed on the bridge.
Well, there's only so many blokes down here that have any, any type of experience in that stuff. And look, I think it'll be good and I think that's what most of the blokes were hoping. They were hoping that the stadium would start and we'd sort of just move from one job to the other, which unfortunately didn't really come into fruition. And so I know a lot of them went to Sells Point, especially some of the more experienced riggers and the crane operators that were in that field, and a lot of steel fixers went to Sells Point, but and there was a lot that didn't, and had to go back to
one of those Bridge Pros cranes is in there at Mac Point.
Yeah,
I saw it the other week when I was in there with Ranga doing test pits.
Yeah,
like just you sitting there waiting.
They're doing something with around the treatment plant that pulled down. But yeah, that crane was out on the bridge doing. That was working with Bridge Pro because Bridge Pro did all the piers.
Yeah.
So they were
how fucking deep? Because those
120 meters. I heard one went.
They got punched into the ground.
Yeah, so I heard one went 120 meters and they didn't find bottom. so they filled it, and pretty much it's just like a friction pile. You know, like it's so big that friction's holding it.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, what else are you going to do? Like, what other options are there?
Yeah,
pull her out.
Yeah, I was there. Well, they hadn't finished the piers when I started, and it was probably 8 months in, maybe even a year before they finished them. We were catching up pretty quickly by that stage, and there was a lot of hammering. So obviously there is a lot that hit some type of hard
fucking
floor.
I hope so. We were driving over it,
But
and shit. Yeah.
Also a couple that I don't know what happened. They started filling with concrete, and they were putting like that much concrete in, and it just kept disappearing. I've heard you hear these stories, but yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you facts because I don't really know for sure. But yeah, like I said, Bridge was a really good experience. It was good to get back on the tools again after being in trucks for 3 odd years.
Driving trucks is like good fun for a little bit, and then like big trucks. The bigger the truck, it's like excavators, man. Everyone wants to drive big fucking trucks. They're tough. It makes your dick feel big.
Yeah,
but then you can you can
I don't know.
You can only do it for so long.
Yeah, it's like I love trucks. I grew up around trucks. And machinery. I've always loved it. I haven't always had my ticket. But when I did and I started driving, I was sort of, yeah, this is cool.
That FLB, I love that thing.
Yeah, I had a cool truck. Look, it probably wasn't as practical as the old Louis that I had before that.
That doesn't matter in trucking, bro. As long as it's shiny and makes
like
good noises.
I probably made a few financial mistakes. Upgrading and stuff.
That doesn't matter in trucking.
No, it's all about the image, isn't it? Really,
100%.
But yeah, look, it's a tough gig, man. Especially running like your own little, single truck business. It's very cutthroat, I found, and like the work's up and down, and I'm kind of glad. I still wish I had the truck, but then I'm glad I sold it because there was a big downturn after the bridge, and I seen that coming. I think a lot of people do. I think and you can probably understand this. A lot of people in that industry, they don't see any downturns coming. They see a lot of work at the time, and they think, oh, cool, I've got all this work now. I'm going to go and buy all this machinery and gear, and then all of a sudden there's nothing there. And fuck, I can't imagine how much stress people go through to try and that's probably why people start getting desperate and undercutting.
Oh, for sure. Buying work, essentially.
Buying work, yeah, and just to scrape through. But yeah, I'm glad that I had the experience at the bridge.
Would you get another truck again?
I
think
know.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, even if you own a truck, it'd be nice to have one to sit in the driveway.
I'd just want to make sure that I did the right. I'd want to make sure I had the work for it. I don't know, man. There's so many easy ways to make money. Honestly,
100%.
I reckon I spent 60 grand in 12 months on maintenance on that FLB.
Yeah.
I probably didn't have to, but it was just, one of those things that
it comes with
you love trucks and you want them nice and shiny all the time, and you want to, especially older trucks, you buy an older truck.
Yeah.
And some people can buy something and never spend $1 on it apart from servicing, and if they serve, and they can run them to the ground, but I can't.
Nah,
it's not me. I don't.
Yeah.
I like keeping the gear clean and tidy and compliant.
That Canter of mine, that four-wheel drive, I was talking to a mate, saying to him about how it's getting painted early next year. And he was like, don't bother, just fucking wrap it from a foot round behind the cab. Just wrap that, because it's got all them like dings, those paint chips, like a lot of paint chips everywhere. Don't bother painting it, waste of money, just wrap it. And I thought, fuck, I can't do that. I know it's like underneath, or if someone goes to pull the wrap off, like I'd rather do it properly.
Yeah, I'm all for doing things right the first time. But yeah, I don't. It's back to your question. I don't know if I'd buy another truck. I don't know if I don't know when I'll be able to feel comfortable to be able to drive a truck. Obviously,
yeah, for sure, man.
I've been diagnosed with severe PTSD from this accident, and it's it's something I'm dealing with at the moment. But I'm not ever going to say that I'm not going to drive a truck again, because that's just putting limitations on myself.
100%. That's a good way to think. Because you're obviously frothing on the photography now. You've brought, rather than those shitty little cameras that I've been using, you've got your...
I needed something to do.
I think that's a good... Photography seems to be therapeutic for a lot of people that have gone through something. It's easy, it's low. Well, you don't have to put stress on yourself. You can do it when you want. It's therapeutic.
I'm so limited to what I can do now, like physically, at the moment. And it was something that I could focus on other than my recovery.
Yeah.
Something to just draw my attention away for a bit, and it is therapy, man. It's and I enjoy it. Like I used to be into it when I was younger, and it's kind of like you with rollerblading. I used to like it, and I used to like riding BMX bikes and stuff as well, but I don't want to do anything that's gonna not that I can ride a BMX bike at the moment, but I don't want to put myself at risk, and I find taking photos is very low risk.
Photos are one of those things as well, like trucks. I fucking love trucks. You love trucks. A lot of guys love trucks. Some people fucking hate trucks. I love hunting. Some people hate hunting. I think photography is one of those things, and it's not like that extreme.
It's a creative thing,
you can look at it. You don't have to appreciate that like weird art, as I'd call it, some of that shit in Mona. If you show someone a good photo of just anything, just a photo that looks like that one you took of Jess, speaking of Jesse again, that one of his truck, and the ones of trucks you've been taking, you can show them to people and they go, that looks good, like that's done well. You don't have to have some in-depth knowledge of a camera or anything like that. It's a good photo.
Yeah, definitely. It's a creative thing too, because everyone perceives things differently, and I don't know, like I don't take photos to impress anyone else. I have this like goal that I want to achieve with photography, and as long as I'm happy with the results, and look, it's growth. It's another thing that I can focus on and just grow at and be better at over time. And whether that leads, I don't really care if it leads anywhere. I don't really want it to lead anywhere. It's just something that I do now for...
I think that's a fucking wicked spot to be, and I think that's when it works out, when it's I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely good when, like, if you start something in your journey, you're like, I'm gonna fucking nail this, I want to be the best I can be, sort of thing at this, and you're very focused. But there's a lot of people out there that are like that, like, I want to be the best, at some sort of sport or a discipline like that. But when you're more relaxed and calm with it, like you're talking, I just see where it leads. It's not the end of the world. It can like self-generate into something like really cool.
As long as you're having fun with it, and you
100%, man.
And you're as long as you're having fun with it, honestly, it's I think it's with anything in life, as long as you're sort of enjoying what you're doing, you're always going to sort of become better at it, or focus on it.
I tell people that now, like, because I was saying, like, I'm umming and ahhing about if I sell up my hire business or what, because I want to focus on this, and the way I describe it to people is like, I just want to do my own thing. They're like, you do, you work for yourself. I'm like, yeah, I do, but I want to do it more. Like, there's certain, I have to be places at certain times.
Yeah, you're kind of constrained to that.
100%. And I really, really enjoy it, creating other people's, like, doing the landscaping jobs and, the weird and wonderful excavations that we've done that no one else really wants to do, this low impact, limited access stuff. But again, like, I'm doing that for someone else. It's someone else's vision or ideas, even if we've designed it. It's at someone else's house. I'd rather do this. This is 100% what I want to do. People that I want to talk to, or helping people the way that I want to do it. Like, that's the ultimate freedom, I think.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's your creation. It's you're in charge of. You're the director in everything you do here.
And the other thing is like, which it never really occurred to me when I was talking to Mum, is that when I worked, so when I'm a diesel mechanic by trade, when I did that full time, I got paid, I don't know, say for example, it was like $35 an hour. For every 1 hour that I worked, I get paid $35 an hour, and then tax and stuff comes out of that. There's no if, buts or maybes. 1 hour's work, that much money. Then I go out and I work for myself. I can dictate my hourly rate depending on what I'm doing, or you can quote jobs. So then I'm in even more control. But for the amount of work that I do, I can decide, how much money is that worth. But I've still got to be competitive and fair, sort of thing. What we're doing right now, like me making money off this, the effort doesn't change. Like right now, so us talking right now, if there's one person listening or 1 million people listening, what I am doing doesn't change. I don't have to put in, the effort doesn't change. As it adapts and gets better, things will change. But for me, what I'm doing right now doesn't change. So like I don't have to put in more effort of talking to get more money to do it or anything like that. I thought, fuck, that's financially that's an ideal scenario as well. Like as much as like say, it's not all about money and stuff, fucking makes the world go round, doesn't it?
Well, it's kind of an essential, isn't it? Yeah.
Unfortunately it is, my friend. Unfortunately it is.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. It's
But I don't think you need to, getting back to like, there's no rush, man. Like, I mean, I don't know where you're, I know I've got a fair idea when we talk of where you're at sort of mentally. I don't know how long they've given you or how long you need for you to recover and all that, but I don't imagine there's a huge, great rush. Like,
not really, no. Like, and I'm just taking this time to really focus on my mental health and I've still got physical issues that's going on. It's still very fresh,
I mean, this is going back like
it's only 2 months. September.
Yeah, so a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it's not that long ago, and but like I said, progressing. Like I'm getting there. I'm doing a really good therapy at the moment. Mindfulness integrated CBT. Yeah. Which has been really good. A lot of effort needs to be put into it, which I'm happy to do because I know the outcome is going to be good for me and for my family. I mean, that's, I think if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the people around you.
Yeah.
And like the impact that this has had on me has also been great on my family. Like
100%, man.
Everyone's been affected by it, and and I just feel like I owe it to them to keep going with it.
100%, and not as for them, for yourself, but as we said at the start, like not that it's probably at the forefront of your mind, but it's also, I think, something to be a nice thing to be aware of is that someone out there listen to this, and it might not change their whole fucking life with a drop of a hat, but someone to go, I can, I can relate to that. I can the fact that you doing better, other people doing better, going back to the same whole thing of the people you hang around with, the people you listen to,
It's kind of like, 100%. I really hope that like I said, one day I can make an impact and I can, people know that there's someone there that they can, dude, I searched the internet.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
I searched Facebook everywhere. Yeah. There's nothing on there for. I think for what I've been through.
I think a big part. Like I remember again, I was talking to my mum about it, saying that I want to help people. I want to, people that like suicide, like the whole thing with Cruzy. That's real fucking fresh and real close to me. And then not only that, the whole addiction thing that I went through. I want to be able to help people. The trouble that I find is that I'm probably a large reason why I work for myself is it's very hard for someone to go, even if I decide it's something I want to do and go, that's fine, you can do it. This is the rule book you follow. These are things you can say. These is what you can't say. This is what you do and don't do. I'm not saying I'm smarter than those people, that I know what I should and shouldn't say better, but in a large time, it's like, that's just from some clipboard. Like, it's not like lived experiences and stuff. I don't know better, but I think I've got a pretty good fucking grasp on it all, and I'd like to help people, but I don't want to be constrained to, oh, fuck, I can't say that, even though I think it might really help them, or I can't do that, because I'll get reprimanded or pulled into line. So I'd like to really, really help people. The trouble is I can't just go, I'm not qualified, and I wouldn't want to help people in the capacity that you need qualification for. So I can't just go and start that. I think the only way that I can do it is like what I'm doing now, but like more in depth, that I can put more and more of my time in. It's the only way I can do it to make money would be in this sort of way,
Yeah.
If I can make
just
money,
like spreading a message.
Yeah. But what I mean is like the fact that I'd like to put more time into it. So I don't want to do. If I get rid of my hire business, I did this full time. This would be the way that I'd be able to make money to then go and help people.
Yeah.
Which is that's sort of the idea that I've got in my head.
Do this and then have something on the 100%.
side. 100%. And I imagine that would be why you struggle to find people that had been through similar circumstances and stuff. Again, accidents, although they're way more common than they should be, it's not as common, what happened to you.
Yeah, and I think, obviously people get through it eventually, and then they just sort of like...
Yeah.
I don't know whether I would say they try and block it out,
but I mean, how would they make, like, for people to do that...
They have to go back to their daily life,
exactly,
don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I imagine that's why there's a struggle for why you struggled to find people. And as we said, like, I mean, when it first happened, you brought up, you said, oh, that's something I'd like to do. I honestly think if we sat, like, if we had a good plan there and go, okay, this is it, and, you got input from people with qualifications and whatnot, and then you went to like these MIOB and insurance boards and whatnot, I mean, it's in their best interest to help the people, although some would argue that they don't always try to, but it's in their best interest to want to help these people get better. Like if you went there and go, look, this is what I've done, can you help fund me or, pay for a hall once a month that I can have meetings with people or stuff like that, like that's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, as far as they go, they're an insurance company, and they want to reduce any type of liability they can. But look, honestly, it'd be such a good thing. And it's just getting your name, it's getting your message out to people, and like I said, like I search the internet, I search Facebook, just even having some type of page there, like fucking road trauma survivors or something, like that they can ring a number or message someone and they can get back to you. Or
they just said, man, that's who's gonna people have, money's you got to survive.
No, it'd be, that's right. I mean, I don't want to. I would never want to make money off it either. Like
but I mean, you need to live.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you've got to. Time is money, I guess. I get what you're saying, and
it's a tricky one to navigate. But I mean, I think, I agree. I think it'd be awesome. But there's definitely a way to do it. I mean, other charities, those sorts of support services get up. And
like if you could piggyback off another charity or something like that, or somehow manage to, I don't know, get in with someone and just have some type of program or something there. I mean, like I said, this isn't a huge thing in Tasmania, but I know on the mainland, like this kind of shit happens all the time.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Like it's
rough.
It's rough, very rough. It's it's crazy to think that. Like when I got told the statistics, crazy to think how many people are affected by this kind of thing.
100%, man. Well, hopefully one day something will come of that when you figure out what it is you want to do.
I said I just want to get better. I want to get to the point where I know 100% that I can speak in depth about this without any type of anything. Yeah,
you don't want it to unsettle the rest of your life, and
no, and and just get the message out that get the message out really, and look, I'm getting there.
You'll get there, bro.
Yep.
You'll get there, mate. Oh, well, we might wrap it up and go. We're going to go and put the wheels back on me Dodge Fargo.
I'm going to watch you put the wheels on your Fargo.
Moral support, bruv. Stand there for moral support. But I don't know what the weather's doing outside. We have to go and have a look. But anyway, anything you'd like to add before you wrap it up?
No, man. I
appreciate you coming on, dude, especially because I know you were very... Thanks for trusting me not to, I suppose, at the start, you instantly...
A little bit apprehensive.
For sure.
I wasn't sure which direction you wanted to go with this, and I guess speaking about my accidents, in depth would be a bit hard for me at the moment. And so I'm glad that we've been able to get on anyway and have a chat.
Yeah, man. That's all. As I said, there's no structure or rhythm. It's just people that I find interesting to talk to and whatnot. And every time we talk on the phone, it seems
we've got a lot more to talk about too. I mean, we haven't even got into spirituality yet.
Oh dear.
But we'll have to do it again one day and put a bit of structure around it and talk about some weird shit.
100%.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Talk about aliens and mushrooms like fucking Joe.
Yeah.
What's that word? I was thinking about it the other day because someone said something and they're like, "What's your podcast?" And I said, "Look, it's got no stress. It's just people I find interesting to talk to." He's like, "What, like Joe Rogan?" I was like, "No, he uses the word ubiquitous. Is
ubiquitous
it ubiquitous or something?"
These words, I don't know.
Yeah, to me either. He uses it all the time. Like,
my vocabulary isn't that large.
I don't talk the words good.
No.
All right, we're going to put these wheels on the Fargo. Thanks again, bruv. It's
easy, man.
Been sick.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
How long did that go for?
Hour and 4.
Fucking hell. That's a wrap.
No.